Now, here's a question for you. How long has it been since a woman won Mastermind? The answer is, in fact, 10 years. The makers of the quiz are so worried about their lack of female contestants that they've started a recruitment drive aimed at getting more women into the famous black chair.
And it's not just Mastermind that has a problem, it's the same with pub quiz teams as well. So do men have better general knowledge than women, or are they simply better at quizzes?
Well, Anne Ashurst was the last woman to win the Mastermind crown back in 1997. She's going to be here with quiz fanatic Jenny Ryan, who not only takes part in them, but also works on The Weakest Link. But first, we asked people in Nottingham why they thought men were keener to be quizzed than women.
Perhaps they're afraid of the specialist subjects. His Mastermind is a little bit...
The few that do seem to be very good.
Yes, yes.
And probably know that, so...
Yeah.
You could say that women have got less time on their hands to do quizzes.
No, I think there's probably just slightly more confident in that environment. I don't know.
When it comes to being put on the spot and in the hot seat, I think men are more confident and they can react quicker. Ladies are a bit too slow. They have to think about things and go into detail.
Better things to do with the time, I suppose. I don't know. I think it's more, women get a bit more scared of being in front of things, you know, they get like, men are more outgoing, aren't they, extroverts, so I suppose that's more of a reason than...
Well, the views on the streets of Nottingham there. Anne and Jenny are here. Very good morning to you both. I mean, well, Anne, let's ask you, why do you think it is you were the last woman to win Mastermind?
I've no idea. I mean, I went in for it because it was a challenge, because I really wanted to do it. I saw in the paper it was going to be the last ever series, they said, and I thought it's now or never. I mean, I've been screaming the general knowledge answers at the set since it started. The family used to get very annoyed and say, why don't you go in for it? And I was going, no, I couldn't be on television. And then I did other television quizzes, and this was the great final challenge.
So you had some stepping stones before you graduated to the big one.
Yeah, I was on Busman's Holiday, on 15 to 1, you know, various things, and gradually made my way.
Do you think that that is part of the issue, is that you know, women, dare I say, are perhaps more modest about what they can do? Jenny, I'll put that to you. Why do you think it is?
I was going to pick up on that fact that I mentioned. It is a lot to do with modesty and the fact that men enjoy showing off slightly more than women. I know that's a sweeping statement, but I think they do. They'd like to show off and show that they know a bit more than anybody else. And women are more likely to rationalise things and say, well, I've got, you know, more constructive things to do with my time, and they're less likely to put themselves into that situation.
I mean, is it the way the quizzes are constructed? I mean, they seem to be, you know, kind of specific. I mean, not Mastermind in the sense that you do have the specialised subject which you can mug up on and presumably you know an awful lot about, but quizzes seem to be, I mean, Ian Botham was here, he was talking about, you know, one of the quiz questions that always seems to be come out is about his great innings and the great bowling in that Headingley Test in 1981. Men sit around in pubs and talk sport, is basically what I'm trying to say.
In terms of sport, I think men are slightly more likely to know the stuff, but general knowledge, there's no reason why women know any less, and they do. I've got a lot of quiz talent. Some of the best quizzers in the world, in Europe, are women, and so it's not it's not in terms of talent or knowledge. I think there's something else that's holding ladies back, and I don't see why they shouldn't put themselves forward.
Well, Ian had a theory, and it picks up on Dermot's point, and he says that it's because men do spend just more time in the pub, generally. Women are busier.
That's where the quizzes are.
Well, this is true, because women sort of are too busy multitasking elsewhere.
Yes, that's very likely. Well, I mean, if a man's, you know, if the woman wants to go and play in the pub at night, who's going to look after the children?
I think in terms of pub quizzes, actually, there are more women who take part. That's the only kind of quiz, in my experience, where women outnumber men, actually. It might be the one night a week where women get to go and, you know, leave the kids at home or whatever and meet up with their friends and do something that's not pressured. But in terms of putting yourself into a serious competition like the quiz leagues or TV quizzes, the ratio of men to women who even apply, it's astounding. It's something like 4-to-1 men to women.
Well, that's good to hear. Listen, so we can't talk about quizzes without having a few questions ourselves. Let's see Anne answering some of her questions to win that Mastermind prize.
In Cowper's poem, which London draper, a citizen of credit and renown, was taken on an unwelcome 20-mile ride by an uncontrollable horse?
John Gilpin.
Correct. Who painted the Last Judgment on the altar wall of the Sistine Chapel in the 16th century?
Raphael.
No, Michelangelo. From what grain is a Japanese drink sake made?
Rice.
Correct. Which author created the popular children's characters the Squirrel, the Hare and the Little Grey Rabbit?
Alison Utley.
Correct. What name is given to the stretch of sea which separates Orkney from the Scottish mainland?
Pentland Firth.
Correct. Which symphony orchestra based in Manchester is named after the conductor who founded it in 1857?
Halle.
Correct. Who is credited with being the first man to swim the English Channel without any artificial aid in 1875?
Matthew Webb.
Correct. 60 years ago, during the Spanish Civil War, which town in the Basque Country was destroyed by German bombers, an event which was commemorated in a painting by Picasso?
Guernica.
Guernica is correct.
See, we're all playing along there. Did you remember all those, Anne?
Well, I certainly remembered Michelangelo because the moment the programme was over, a friend phoned me and said, "Michelangelo, you prat."
Yeah.
Not congratulations, darling.
Yes, well done, you won.
Because, well, I was going to Italy and I'd been mucking up about Raphael, you see.
Yeah.
And he was the only artist who came to mind when the question was asked. So stupid. I knew who it
Yes,
was.
but under that pressure, it's absolutely
I know.
understandable, wasn't it? You just hit those
You have
quick
to, yes,
fire
you have to
questions.
keep going because if you pass and then you remember what the answer was, you think, damn. And while you're thinking, damn,
Another
he's
question's
asked the
come at
next
you.
question,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you go into this sort of downward spiral.
Well, listen, some useful tips there for anyone else. You've got Anne, Jenny, thank you both very much indeed. Very
Yeah,
good to see you.
thank
Happy
you. Good to
quizzing.
see you.
And if you'd like to go on Mastermind, you can enter via the website, bbc.co.uk/mastermind, no less.
Yeah, give it a go. Right,
Yeah.
still to come on Breakfast, presenter and comedian Patrick Kilty tells us about his move into acting.
He'll be here in just over a minute or two's time, but first here's a last quick look at what's happening wherever you are.